was I just kind of paneled out the center section to match the top and pinned this hair out of my way so that I'm not picking up too much hair at a time. You can see that, okay? So now we're going to come around the back of the head, and this is where many people have trouble. This particular baby has so little hair here in the crown. So we want to pull the hair so that it's coming, again, we want it straight out from the head, and I cut a little bit more, I cut like 8 1/2, so I've got a comb plus my finger's width. And I don't want to pull up because that would be long layering. I want to make sure that that comb is coming parallel off the head. There's where I'm going to cut. Okay, I'm done with that piece. I pushed it out of my way. Again, make sure the comb is straight out off the head. Cut. I'm done with that section. You can just push it out of your way. I'm going to tilt her forward so you can see a little better, and to hold that hair out of the way. There's my guideline. Now, what you're noticing is when we're coming around this head, you'll see a short piece here at the bottom. That's where we had previously cut our perimeter, so we're out of hair. Okay? We're finished with that section. We're going to move on to the other section beside it in our haircut that has not been cut, and we've taken a piece of that previous cut guideline. Here it is. And we can use that to cut our next section. So in other words, I've got the piece that I previously cut, and I added a small section of new hair. So I want to keep it thin, so you can see through it. And again, we ran out of hair because that's where the perimeter was already previously cut. Okay? So I'm going to finish this section. If the remaining hair on that side gets caught in the comb or gets in your way, just go back and tidy that up, because you don't want to cut a hole. Again, there's my guide. Now, for these students going to state board, we've talked in terms of this is that section that we really want to concentrate perfection on, because we're going to wrap this on a perm rod. I'm going to move around to the other side so I can cut the other side. Are you going to be able to see if I can do that? And we'll continue just like we did before. Previously cut hair. So what happens if I pull all of this up in my hand like this, and I can see this, but you guys as students might not be able to see what needs to be cut. That means you have too much hair if you can't see that guideline underneath there. So sometimes taking a big section is not to your benefit. It actually takes a little bit longer and makes you mess up. So you can't see your guide clearly under there, and you've got too much hair. And what that winds up doing is causing you more time because you're looking for the guideline. Okay, so we've completed this section. We cut it vertically. I'm going to again go back and check her horizontally. Pull this up. Now this is a little awkward, but I'm going to step in front of her this way so you, okay, because you can see here is a little longer on this side than this side, and that may have been my body position. So I can just tidy that up. We want our left and our right side to be the same. Here we go. Okay, so again, I'm checking it with the comb coming straight out from the head. I'm finished with that section. Finished with that section. Oh, now here it looks like it's a little longer on that corner. Not anything terrible, it's just a little longer. And again, right there, okay? So essentially, if we were to take this and look at it on a human, if we were to blow this straight out, it would look like a mohawk down the center of her head. Okay, there's a little long piece, let me get rid of that. We're going to move on to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small panel over her ear. I'm going to push this hair forward out of my way. And I'm going to take a small panel ending at the back of her ear. And I'm going to push this hair out of the way. Again, you may want to pin it. There's nothing wrong with securing hair out of your way. Helps you see where you're going. So if I pull straight out from her head, we have to make sure that we're not pulling up, so we don't want to over direct, and we don't want to drop down because we'll cut a hole. So I took a piece out of that top center, and I've measured my comb. Remember, I had it just a little bit beyond the comb. There's what I'm going to cut. This front piece keeps getting in my way. I'm actually going to secure this a little bit better because I don't think that you can see it. Again, I'm pulling straight out. Now, something you'll notice is right here, if I could hold all that in my hand, that it's starting to fall out. That's because we had already cut that previously when we cut our perimeter. So what we're doing is we're working around that section. Can you see it falling out? Down towards our perimeter, which we had previously cut. And I'm just going to finish that section and check it. That looks good. Looks good, and then the bottom is already cut. So now I'm left with a small section in the front and a small section in the back. I'm going to go ahead and use this section in the front first and get that out of our way. Again, I've got that guideline underneath it there that if I'm pulling it up and I'm being able to see the hair that was previously cut, it tells me exactly what I need to remove. Same here in the front section. Is this clearing it up for you, Nicole?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not going to cut the other side on video. Okay, so I have a little piece, if you look right here, her hairline goes back here. So when I do this, and I pull this out, if I pull this hair forward and cut this, can you see how much hair will come off? You see that? So I have to kind of compensate for that by pulling back a little bit to take a little bit less hair off. Because if I pull it forward too far, it will cut a hole. So I'm going to do that. But then I've going to pull this down and I'm just going to check it to make sure that there's no little crazy pieces in there. When you see those little pieces, we need to blend those. Okay. So we're coming to the final section on this right side of the head. And we can slice it like an orange and do it that way. Or we can also go back and we could cut it horizontally this way. Okay? So if I pull that up at the top, I've already finished that section. But as I'm working down the head, you'll be able to see very clearly that we haven't cut that little piece. Okay? So we could go through it and do it this way, horizontally or vertically. Okay? And remove this, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do. And I pull this forward a little bit to kind of give me a little extra length because she's kind of thin right here. In other words, I didn't stand directly in front of that panel because if I did, it could cut a little bit too much off and leave us with a hole. Okay, so then I'm going to check it horizontally, and I am going to stand right in front of her. Now you can see where I over-directed it. I need to get rid of that. I'm finished with that section. I can pin it out of my way. I'll push it out of the way. Again, I'm standing right there. Oh, you can see, there's my piece. There's the piece. You can see that clearly. Pull it out. There it is, and there it is. And so I'm just going to take the shear and take that piece off. I could have done that horizontally. Students tend to have a problem with this area and they cut too much. So by doing, sorry, I said I could have done it horizontally. I could have done it vertically. But if you're afraid you're going to cut a hole, or if you have a habit of dropping your fingers down, horizontally might be the better way. And we're done. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So just to show you some methods of cross-checking this when you're finished, essentially you should be able to pick this up anywhere over the head, put that comb in there, and it should be pretty much the same length all over the head. Always, when you're finished, pull her down and check this side. We did good on her because she's got, again, that very little amount of hair, and we did not cut a hole. Okay, and that sometimes it has a little wave pattern, it'll jump up, and for state board, you would want to just tidy that up. And I'm going to cut the other side.